And hello again, baseball fans. Joe Angel and Fred Manfra back in Oakland on the West Coast. And tonight, the Orioles and the Oakland Athletics in Game 2 of a 3-game series. The Orioles are looking for a third consecutive victory. That has not happened too often this season. Last time it happened was back in early June when they won 4 straight, and 3 of those came against the Oakland Athletics. Orioles here tonight. Chris Davis has gone on the 15-day disabled list. We'll come back and talk to Buck Showalter on the Geico Managers Report right after the
double action. First of a day-night doubleheader at Fenway. The Red Sox behind John Lester defeated Tampa Bay 3-1. Lester 12-6 on the year. And they are now in the second game of that doubleheader in the 9th inning with Tampa Bay leading the Red Sox 6-2. Here we're ready for baseball in Oakland. The Orioles and the Athletics, middle game of their final 3 of the season. My pleasure to turn things over now to Joe Angel.
All right, big boy, thank you. Thank you very much. Here we go. Looking for 3 in a row. And here's Reimold. He takes a fastball for a call strike. Nolan, again in that leadoff position. Last night 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. Of course, the game before that, in that finale against Detroit, had a big game as the leadoff hitter. He was on base 4 times. 3 hits, a walk, and he scored 3 runs. And now a swing and a miss. And the count to Reimold is no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, in that leadoff role now 3 for 13.
Yep. Overall, 6 hits in his last 17 at-bats after the 0 for 5 ball game last night. And now Moscoso with the 0-2 delivery is a fastball up and in. Right-hander Guillermo Moscoso, 27 years of age. Born in Maracay in Venezuela. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Reimold gets a piece of it, gets under it, fouled it back, and that'll be out of play. Moscoso comes in a losing record, 5 wins, 6 losses. He's been in 15 games, 13 of which have been starts. Just over 76 innings. He's allowed 67 hits. So pretty good there. Fewer hits than innings pitched. And the 1-2 now to Reimold. Half swing and a breaking ball. Down he goes. He has struck out. 1 away. Now here's JJ. Pretty good breaking ball there with 2 strikes. Well, it looks like it dropped off a table somewhere.
Well, Moscoso, another one of these right-handers that pitches more like a left-hander. He's not going to blow you away, and he gives you a lot of breaking balls, a lot of off-speed stuff, and keeps you off balance at the plate.
Opponents have hit only 228 against him this year. Pretty good there. And, yeah, right-handers even worse. Only 214 against him. And now James Jerry, he takes a fastball for a call strike. Most people call him JJ. I call him James Jerry.
You're more formal. Huh?
That's exactly right. And now the 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball. This breaking ball again. And Hardy chased it, tried to check it, but he couldn't do it. So 0-2 now to James Jerry Hardy. Batting average of .267 here for the Orioles shortstop. And those 23 home runs. Yeah, Moscoso delivers. A little fly ball out toward right center. De Jesus a little bit to his right. Under it to make the catch, and that's 2 down.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how well the ball carries here tonight. It normally doesn't carry well in the evening here in Oakland, but during batting practice watching the guys, they even had a tough time, it appeared, putting it in the seats in BP.
Yeah, that ball wasn't going anywhere. This is a great place to pitch, especially these night games. The cool air. The ball just doesn't go anywhere. In all the foul territory, pitchers here get a lot of gift outs. And Markakis takes a knee-high strike.
Well, Brian Mattis excited about making the start against this Oakland ball club here in Oakland because, as you say, it is a pitcher-friendly ballpark.
No question. Yeah, Markakis last night, 1 for 4. Comes in hitting .283. And now Moscoso with the 0-1 delivery. And there's a high pop-up into shallow right center. Coming in is the Coco Man. And Crisp makes the catch. And Guillermo Moscoso is off to a 1-2-3 start. Orioles here make 3 quiet outs. We head to the bottom of the first. Now here come the A's. It is 0-0 on the Orioles Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, start.
All right, we're back in Oakland. Here at Overstock.com Coliseum. You think I'm kidding, don't you? Overstock.com Coliseum. And here's Jemile Weeks to lead off for Oakland here in the bottom of the first inning. Left-hander Brian Mattis back in the big leagues. Nice to see. We have not seen Brian in a big league ball game since June 30th. Last time he started a game was on June 30th against the St. Louis Cardinals, and he wasn't very good in that game. Pitch on the way to Weeks, and he'll take a called strike. In that game against the Cardinals, he went 3 1/3, gave up 8 runs on 9 hits, and he threw 70 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. Boy, you look at his numbers the last 4 starts, as Weeks will take a called strike, and the count 0-2. Mattis, in his last 4 starts, in 14 2/3 innings, has given up 22 runs, a 1350 earned run average in that stretch. Now, Weeks, he takes outside, but he's been back in the minor leagues, Fred, and trying to get it together.
Well, his last 16 innings down for the Tides, the Norfolk Tides, he allowed just 1 earned run. Of course, we all know biggest jump in sports is from that AAA level to the big leagues.
I've heard that, yes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little ground ball off the hands, out to James Jerry, and Hardy throws out Weeks. 1 down. And now the Cocoa Man. Here at the bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Orioles and the Athletics. And indeed, Brian Mattis made a total of 8 starts at Norfolk. His overall record down there was 2-3 with a 362. But yeah, as Fred mentioned, his last couple of starts down there outstanding. And so now he's back in the big leagues, and this time he's hoping to stay for the rest of the season. And here's Crisp. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Fastball there at 91.
Now, his last start down there, a complete game. He had 8 strikeouts, very pitch efficient. His fastball was hitting in the low 90s with a little bit more consistency.
And now the 0-1 delivery, and there's a fastball at 90 in there for a call strike. It looked as though Coco was looking for something else, so the count 0-2. I think, though, that last win in the minors was against Lehigh Valley. Pitch just off the outside corner. And when you say, hey, I just beat Lehigh Valley, it just doesn't sound all that impressive, you know. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, a little bit low, awfully close, but somehow Crisp was able to take that pitch. So the count 2-2. Coco hitting .275. Of course, Brian Mattis at times has looked so good at this level. And there's a fastball up and away. His fastball right now is at 90 or 91.
I'll tell you, at times you could never imagine that he would have to go back down to the minor leagues to get things together.
Amen. Very surprising. 3-2 pitch on the way, and he walked him. Another fastball at about 90. But as Brian Mattis told Fred before the game tonight on the warm-up show, I mean, velocity is something that you always love to be able to, to use out there and to have as a weapon. But it's all about locating. The only problem is if you don't have the velocity, well, then you have to locate. If you do have the velocity, well, sometimes you can get away with bad location.
Yeah, he was talking about his problems with command in the strike zone, meaning not throwing the ball right down the middle at 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's Nate Jesus. Little pop-up here off of third base, racing over a Bell, in back of the coaching box, and he's going to make the catch. Hideki Matsui, I beg your pardon, as he goes after the first pitch, and he little foul ball. The Bell catches it, and that's out number 2. And now here's Josh Willingham. 0-0 here at the bottom of the first inning. Yeah, the Orioles here tonight looking for a 3rd consecutive victory. Meanwhile, this Oakland ball club trying to end a 4-game losing streak. They've lost 4 straight. They've lost 5 out of 6. And so right now they're struggling under the new skipper, Bob Melvin. And now Willingham, he takes outside ball 1.
Right now there's season-high 15 games under that 500 mark. And it has been a struggle all year because they're not a very good hitting ball club, and their pitching since the All-Star break has been iffy at times.
Mattis to look at first and now delivers, and that's in there for a call strike. Even up 1-1 strike. Well, Bob Melvin took over the Oakland Ball Club on June 9th. Now, the first few games, they actually got off to a pretty good start under Bob Melvin, but after that, they reverted to form. And they have gone 26-32 under Melvin. There's a line drive, but a foul ball down the left field foul line.
Well, he took over right after the Orioles had completed that sweep of Oakland in Baltimore, and that was the last time the Orioles had won 3 straight. That was during a 4-game win run for the Orioles.
Yeah, at the time, I think Oakland had lost 9 consecutive games after they were swept by the Orioles. And the next day, Bob Guerin was fired, and then eventually Melvin was hired. And now Willingham takes a little bit low of the fastball at about 91 from Mattis. So the count 2-2. And now the left-hander ready again. Looks at Coco and now delivers. And he chops it foul up that left side. Outside the coaching box at third base. Stays to 2-2 strikes. Of course, the Orioles, if they can win this game, they can win the series. Something they have not done since June 25th when they won a series against Cincinnati. Next offering, gets him looking. Strike 3 called. Well, he got him on the inside corner at the letters. Willingham not very happy about the call, but he's going to have to live with it. And the side retired. So they strand one, and at the end of one in Oakland, 0-0 on the Orioles radio network. All right, Oriole fans, don't forget before every Oriole home game, you be sure to stop by the Bud Light Warehouse Bar. It's right there on Utah Street. A great place to meet all your friends before the game. You can enjoy a cold Bud Light and get ready for Orioles baseball. The Bud Light Warehouse Bar, it's open 2 hours before the game. And now here's Mr. Jones to lead off for the Orioles' top 2, 0-0 game. Right-hander Guillermo Moscoso delivers. Adam swings at it, gets under it, and he fouled it back towards us. Adam Jones and then Vlad and then Matt Wieters for the Baltimores here in the top of the second inning. We talked about Guillermo Moscoso, 27-year-old right-hander. His last game was against the Blue Jays, and he won that ball game 10-3. Jones takes a high fastball. In that game, in 6 innings, he allowed just 1 earned run, and he gave up just 3 hits in that game. Also had 6 strikeouts. And he began that game with 9 consecutive outs. He had him a big swing and a foul back. And when he left the game, he had a 10-2 lead. The last 2 games that Moscoso has won, he has won 10-3 and 8-3. So lately, he's been getting a lot better run support.
Yeah, that's something the Oakland A's don't do, is score an awful lot of runs in a ball game, but he's been the beneficiary.
Yeah. Adam Jones digs in, up there with a batting average of .293. And now the 1-2 delivery and a fastball that runs up and in. So the count 2-2. Well, Moscoso, born in November of 1983, roughly 1 month after the Orioles became world champions. And now the next offering, Adam slaps at it, fights it off, and fouls it away. It stays to 2-2 strikes. Moscoso drafted originally, actually signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Detroit Tigers back in 2008. And eventually dealt to Texas. And then to Oakland early this year he was dealt. 2-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball. Adam gets a piece of it and fouls it away.
And with Texas, he worked out of the bullpen. His only starts in the big league have come with this Oakland ball club.
Of course, this season, when the year began, Moscoso was in Sacramento at the AAA level, pitching for the, and one of my favorite team names, the Sacramento River Cats. And eventually came up in late May. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, bounced foul.
Now, at one time in their franchise history, weren't they the Sacramento Bees?
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also the name of the hometown newspaper, the Sacramento Bee, the capital of California. They came up on May 24th and actually pitched pretty well. But eventually he was sent back to the minor leagues. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and again Jones slaps it foul. Even though he had pitched pretty well, came up in a situation where he was the fifth starter, and they were not going to need a fifth starter for a while, so they sent him down. Eventually came back on July 19th, and now back in the starting rotation. 2-2 pitch on the way. Adam takes a breaking ball that bounces in here, so you count 3-2. Jones having a real good at bat here.
Well, Moscoso needed only 10 pitches to retire Reimold, Hardy, and Markakis in the first inning, and this next pitch will be the 10th to Adam Jones.
There you go. Adam with 21 home runs and 72 RBIs. Nothing game here in Oakland in the top of the second inning. Adam does have a home run this season against Oakland. 3-2 pitch on the way, and he'll take the walk. And that is an outstanding at-bat for Adam Jones. Boy, he battled, too. Remember, Moscoso had him 1 ball and 2 strikes, and there were several foul balls with 2 strikes. Adam Jones, I'd say, maybe 5 times on the at-bat, he was able to fight off some very good pitches. And eventually gets that walk to get things started. And now here's Vlad for the first time tonight. That was just a real good, solid at-bat. So at first, Adam diving back in safely. On the SK scoreboard, the Boston Red Sox against Tampa Bay, they split a day-night doubleheader. Here's the pitch on the way to Guerrero. Big swing and a miss. Red Sox, they won the first game 3-1. And boy, what a pitching battle, too. John Lester against James Shields in that game, and they each gave up 3 hits in that game. Except that one of the hits that Shields gave up was a 3-run home run off the bat of Jacoby Ellsbury, and that put the Red Sox in the win column in that game. And Lester is now 12-6. And Vlad takes the ball way outside. In that game, Papelbon came in, picked up his 28th save. And Ellsbury, the game-winning home run, his 21st of the season. Tampa Bay came back and won that second game. We'll tell you about that. Vlad digs in, 1-1 the count. Here it comes. Swing, and boy, a good swing at that, but he got under it too much, and he fouled it back on the screen.
Of course, Adrian Gonzalez has had so many huge hits for Boston this year, but of late, it's been Jacoby Ellsbury who's been the guy that's been doing all the huge hits for that Boston ball club.
He's had a phenomenal season. Remember last year he got hurt. Though at first, that time he almost had Jones going the wrong way. But he did get back. 1-2 now to Vladimir Guerrero. Tampa Bay came back and won that second game behind Jeff Neiman. Tampa Bay won that game 6-2, and in that game he beat Eric Bedard. And now Vlad, he takes outside for a ball. And Ellsbury hit another home run in that game, but that one in a losing cause. So Ellsbury now with 22 home runs. Jason Varitek also hit one. The Red Sox, by the way, in that second game, they turned a triple play. Here comes the pitch. Vlad, fly ball, right field. Angling over is De Jesus. He'll catch it. And then gets it back into second base. Adam Jones back to first. 1 down. And now here's Matt Wieters. Yesterday we saw a triple play. And today the Red Sox, they turned a 5-4-3 triple play in that game.
Just the routine triple play.
Nothing unusual about it. Runners on first and second. The ball hit right at the bag at third base. And that began a 5-4-3 triple play. So now here's Wieters up there to hit left-handed. 0-0 game in the second inning. And the fastball is up under Wieters' elbows. 1 ball and no strikes. How many times do you see triple plays in back-to-back days?
Not too often.
No, very unusual. Matt Wieters, a batting average of .257. Throw to first, too late. Matt with 11 home runs. He's knocked in 40. Hit number 11 here last night. Right-hander Guillermo Moscoso. He will set. He'll look at first. And he will deliver. Wieters at the bond to right to first. He'll go to second for 1. Here comes the return. Double play. And that'll go 3-6-3. And the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the second. 0-0 on the Orioles Radio Network. Here we go. Back in Oakland as we head to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 game. And for the Oaklands here, Brandon Allen will lead off. Allen, and then Scott Sizemore, and then David DeJesus for the Oakland Athletics. We saw the walk to Adam Jones. And fans all about Boardwalk fresh burgers and fries. They're never frozen burgers. They're handmade every day, and the world-famous fries are fresh cut, and they're made to order. So come by and see them in Hunt Valley Town Center, and they're also in Arbutus. Now here's Allen, and Mattis delivers ball 1, low and outside. Brandon Allen, just a youngster, just came up a couple of days ago. He's had 6 hits in his last 2 games. I'd say he's off to a pretty good start. He came up from Sacramento on Saturday. The Sacramento River Cats. Allen swings and he gets a piece of it and fouls it away.
Well, formerly property of the Arizona Diamondbacks, came over to the Oakland organization in the Brad Ziegler trade. And he has pop, a couple of stops at the minor league level, 21 home runs and 72 knocked in between his 2 AAA stops.
Yeah, 93 games down there, and a batting average of .299. So pretty good numbers there. Now he takes low and outside for a ball. The count 2-1. Brandon Allen, strictly a left-hand hitter. 0-0 game here, bottom 2 in Oakland. And lefty Brian Mattis. He delivers, and this one skied foul behind third base. Racing over is Josh Bell along the bullpen, and right behind the bullpen mound, but that ball is out of his reach. Now, Buck Showalter talked about it before the game tonight on the manager's corner. The fact that the Coliseum in Oakland, one of the few places that actually has a pitcher's mound on the playing field, albeit in foul territory, but it's in the way. And now Allen takes it a little bit low.
And the pitchers warm up with having their back almost to the home plate area. They're throwing the opposite way that they ordinarily would on the mound here in the between the white lines.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch on the way. This one fouled away, and they'll be way back out of play. Well, the thing there, it's also very dangerous for the third baseman or the shortstop or the left fielder as they chase pop-ups. And we saw it in the ball game last night. Josh Bell made a tremendous play on a foul pop-up along that pitcher's mound. There's a pop-up foul back in the lower deck. It stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's just an element that in other places you don't have to be concerned about.
Yeah, while you're in full sprint, you got to be concerned that you might trip over the mound out there.
And now the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit, foul outside first base. At least at that time he pulled the ball. Well, I think it's safe to say that this ballpark right now is the worst venue in the game.
Well, now if they can only work out an accommodation with the Giants to find a new home.
3-2 pitch on the way, and this one is ball 4. That one low and inside.
Well, they've talked about San Jose, maybe Fremont, but nothing really concrete in finding a new place to build a ballpark.
Well, the Giants won't let them go to San Jose. I mean, San Jose is the Giants' territorial rights, and they will not give them up. And now here's Scott Sizemore. And he takes a fastball for a called strike. When Brian Mattis saw that Scott Sizemore was in the Oakland lineup, I'm sure that deep down inside he jumped for joy. Sizemore, in his career against Mattis, has had 1 hit in 30 at-bats. And now he takes a high fastball. Overall, Sizemore, a batting average of .233 this year. But Sizemore, his last 34 games against everybody, has hit only 170. This guy's in a deep funk. Now he takes up and in. Fred has done a double. You know, when I saw these numbers, I think it was a misprint, because my first reaction was, how in the world did he ever get 30 at-bats against Brian Mattis? But I'm going to take all that back. And there's a fly ball hit to deep left. Reimold is racing back. He's not going to get to it. It's on the track and off the wall. Reimold plays to Karam. Allen being waved in. Here's the relay by J.J., and the ball gets away at the plate. And the run scores on a double by Sizemore. Oakland has taken a 1-0 lead. Brandon Allen able to score from first base on that double. So Sizemore picks up his 32nd RBI.
We talked about location. That was located right down the middle of the plate. Mike Gallego, the third base coach, had that arm a-waving, and Allen, as he came to the plate, did a nice fadeaway slide, but still the ball not held by Matt as it came in toward the plate.
Just talking about Sizemore and his numbers against Brian Mattis. The notes that we were given, they told us that he is 1 for 30 against Brian Mattis, but that's a misprint. Take away the 0. He was 1 for 3 against him, and now he's 2 for 4. So all that stuff about Brian Mattis jumping for joy, never mind. And now De Jesus, he swings and he fouls it away. And boy, that time he ripped it. And a ball that landed behind Reimold and on the warning track in left field. De Jesus, left-hander against left-hander. Mattis ready. And delivers. Strike. Picked up the inside corner. De Jesus hitting .232. 8 home runs. He's knocked in 35. Orioles have done a good job against him. He's only 2 for 23 against Baltimore pitching this season. David De Jesus, runner at second base. And here it comes. It'll pop up back towards us. And that'll be in the back of the lower deck. In fact, that ball may have gotten to the second deck behind home plate. So De Jesus, no balls and 2 strikes. A walk to Allen, and then the double by Sizemore. And Brian Mattis here trails 1-0 in the second inning. De Jesus back in. Mattis sets. He'll check the runner and now delivers. And De Jesus swings and misses. Got him with a breaking ball. And Mattis picks up his second strikeout tonight. Well, that time Weeder set up away. And Mattis threw a real good breaking ball that, boy, hit exactly where Weeders put the glove. I mean, barely at the knees and barely on the outside corner. And with 2 strikes, that is a real good pitch. Now here's the Oakland catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Runner at second base, 1 away. 1-0 Oakland in the second inning. Pitch on the way to Suzuki. Fastball up and away. Orioles have Bell at third. Hardy at short, and Dino at second. Reynolds at first. Weeders behind the plate. Reimold, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield left to right. Now Mattis again sets, and he delivers. Fastball up and away. The count 2 balls and no strikes. On the SK scoreboard, the Giants in Atlanta, they were beaten again. And this time they were beaten in 11 innings. Atlanta won the ball game 2-1. Here comes the pitch. There's a strike. Picked up the outside corner. In that game, by the way, the Giants did not even have a hit in that game until the 7th inning when Cody Ross hit a home run. Yeah, they wound up losing that ball game 2-1. Giants are struggling. They are fading in the West. And now Suzuki takes the ball low and outside. Right now, Arizona with a 2.5 game lead. Right now, actually, Arizona with a 3.5 game lead. Arizona today, they beat the Phillies 3-2. Now they beat Roy Halladay in that game, so they add a game to the lead. Next pitch, check swing, and the pitch outside for a ball. So Mattis has now walked 3 in this game. And now with 2 aboard, it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Cliff Pennington.
Batting in the 9th position, shortstop, number 2, Cliff Pennington.
Also in the National League, in 11 innings, Pittsburgh beat the Cardinals 5-4. Even though in that game, Albert Pujols hit his 30th home run of the season. But the Cardinals got beat. There's the fastball just above the letters, ball 1 to Pennington. Albert Pujols just continues to amaze. Another 30 home run season. He is the first ever in Major League history to begin his career with 11 straight seasons of at least 30 home runs. And there's a call strike to Pennington. It's hard to believe that when Pujols was drafted, there were more than 400 players taken ahead of him in the draft.
Well, it kind of goes to show you what the draft, it's kind of a crapshoot.
I'll say. 1-1 to Pennington, and Mattis delivers. There's a looper behind first base. Racing back is Reynolds. He cannot get to it. The ball trickles away from him. Sizemore is coming in to score. Stopping at second base will be Suzuki. So that's a bloop single to pick up an RBI. And now it's 2-0 Oakland. And just a little dying quail that Reynolds couldn't get to. I think Mattis made a pretty good pitch. And all Pennington did was put that ball in play. And he found a hole out there. And now Rick Adair comes out to talk to his left-hander, Brian Mattis.
Mattis has already thrown more than 40 pitches. And long conversation Rick Adair's having with Brian. Now it's over.
And now here's the top of the order, Jamal Weeks. Oakland with a 2-0 lead, bottom of the second inning. Weeks 0 for 1, he grounded to short. Mattis ready, he'll check the runners, and now delivers. Picked up a strike on the inside corner. All right, today on the SK scoreboard, Detroit beat Minnesota 7-1 as Justin Verlander becomes the first 18-game winner in the major leagues. He is now 18-5. There's a looper down behind first base again, and that ball would land in there safely, and then will wind up in the middle of the bullpen down there. 1 run is in. There goes Pennington, going to be held up at third base. Weeks with a double along that right field foul line. Another run comes in. It is now 3-0 Oakland, and right now Brian Mattis is bleeding to death.
Another ball not hit all that hard. But, boy, they're having eyes out there as they get beyond the infield and then in front of the outfield. And it's now a 3-0 lead for this Oakland ball club.
Yeah, the last couple of hits. I mean, not only do they have eyes, they had 20/20 vision. And now here's Coco Crisp. Runners on second and third, only 1 out here. Coco had to walk his first time up. Mattis delivers. There's a high fly ball into somewhat shallow center. Adam is there. He's going to make the catch. Here's Pennington coming on. And the throw there, the tag by Wieters, and they got him at the plate. Adam Jones gets his man. The ball was not hit all that deep. And Pennington is tagged out as Adam Jones picks up his 12th assist this year.
And another great tag by Matt Wieters as he scooped the short hop, swept, and hit the glove on the back of Pennington as he went in.
Nobody does it better than Matt Wieters. As far as the catchers are concerned, you talk about catch and tag. Boy, he does it beautifully. And Adam Jones did not make all that good a throw, but Wieters kind of bailed him out. And at the end of 2, It is 3-0 Oakland here on the Orioles Radio Network. I go back in Oakland. A's here with a 3-0 lead. Orioles at the bottom of the order coming up against right-hander Guillermo Moscoso. And here to tell you about it, let's get right to Fred Mann.
Well, thanks a lot, Joe. Mark Reynolds will lead off for the Birds. He had a Mark Reynolds night last night. A couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a home run. Right-handed batter playing first base tonight. Chris Davis, in case you're just joining us, went on the disabled list before the ball game. Right shoulder problems. Here's a ball one to the right-handed batting Oriole first baseman. Reynolds with that slightly open stance, deep in the box. Moscoso delivers to Mark. Swing and a miss. Came upstairs with a pitch. Coming in at 91, and Reynolds cut through it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reynolds with 27 home runs, 63 knocked in, 140 strikeouts, and 60 walks. Orioles trailing in the ballgame 3-0. Moscoso kicks and delivers, and Reynolds on a breaking ball bounces it fair just beyond the bag at third, down toward the left field corner. Willingham will dig it out, and Reynolds will go into second base with his 21st double of the season. And that ball bounced down the line. The third baseman Sizemore made a dive after it, but couldn't come up with it, and then it went into that corner in left field. So the Orioles have a runner in scoring position for Robert Andino. Andino last night, when the Orioles scored 4 runs in the 7th inning, had a big hit, bases loaded double to drive in 2 runs. And then that was followed by a Josh Bell single to drive in 2 more. So Andino will step in. Of course, Andino has struggled against right-handed pitching, but he hit that double against a right-hander last night. Couple of home runs, 17 knocked in. He has Reynolds at second base with nobody down. The pitch on the way to the Orioles second baseman. Fastball misses outside. The crew chief, Brian Gorman, calling the balls and strikes tonight. Danny Bellino is at first base. Tony Randazzo at second, and the umpire at third is Larry Vanover. Guillermo Moscoso, 27-year-old right-hander from Venezuela, ready to deal to the right-handed bat of Robert Andino. The pitch to Robert, fouled off to the right side, a ball and a strike. Andino has had a couple of hits over his last 8 at-bats. We talked about his struggles against right-handed pitching. A .223 hitter against righties. It's well over 300 against guys that throw from that first base side of the mound. Runner at second base, nobody out. Moscoso looks back at Reynolds, delivers to Andino, and Andino swings through it. As Andino cut through a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Moscoso ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Josh Bell on deck. Moscoso in his career against the Orioles, 1 win and 1 loss. The right-hander will hold that set away from the letters, look back at the runner at second, deliver to Andino, and a swing and a miss as Andino, checked out a foul at the plate. As that ball went down toward the glove of Suzuki, a breaking ball, and Andino just got a little piece of it to stay alive. Defensively for Oakland, Suzuki catching Allen at first, Weeks at second, Pennington at short, Sizemore the third baseman, Willingham in left, Crispin center, and DeJesus in right field. Moscoso coming in again with that 1 ball, 2 strike pitch with a runner at second base and nobody out. And the Moscoso delivery to Andino just missing. And it looks like the strike zone of Brian Gorman tonight is going to be a little tighter than the strike zone of Larry Vanover last night. He's not giving the pitchers much off the plate. So the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reynolds started the inning with a double. He's at second base. The 2-2 pitch to Andino. He reaches for it, bounces it towards second base. Weeks will come up with it. Throw to first. They get Andino, but by going to the right side, Reynolds advances from second to third. And he is there with 1 down for Josh Bell. Bell not in the original lineup tonight. But when Davis was scratched and put on the disabled list, Reynolds had to move from third base to first, and Josh Bell was then inserted at the hot corner. But as we mentioned last night, Josh made an outstanding catch on a foul ball, had that big base hit to drive in 2 runs. Also walked a couple of times. Batting as a left-handed batter against Guillermo Moscoso. Orioles trying to score their first run of the night. They trail 3-0, 1 out in the third. Moscoso's delivery to Josh, hard ground ball, foul, just foul first base side. 0-1 to Bell. SK out of town scoreboard. The Yankees in the 7th inning at Kansas City leading the Royals 9-7. Chicago White Sox in the 8th inning at home against Cleveland leading the Indians 7-5. Here it's a 3-0 Oakland lead. Top of the 3rd, 1 out. Reynolds at third base and a 1-strike count to the switch-hitting third baseman Josh Bell. Moscoso dangles that right arm, gets the sign, now stands tall. The right-hander's pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Josh Bell. And Bell takes a cut at it and misses. Big swing and a miss as Bell with that uppercut swing on a breaking ball. And it's a 0-2 count. Josh Bell at the big league level hitting 167, 3 runs knocked in. 2 for 17 as a left-handed batter. But any number of ways he can get that first run of the night in for the Orioles. And the pitch to Josh is in the dirt. Had a notion, held back, and now sees that count go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moscoso has now thrown 39 pitches. For Brian Mattis, 45 through his 2 innings, and the Oakland Athletics scored 3 times in the bottom of the 2nd. Reynolds at third base, 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch on the way to the Orioles' 9th place hitter, Josh Bell, had ground ball to first. That will get the first run of the night in for the Orioles as it goes to Allen, the first baseman, who flips to the pitcher covering Moscoso. 2 down, but coming in to score from third base as Josh Bell knocks in his 4th run of the season. It's a 3-1 ball game as Reynolds scores from third.
Now batting, number 14, Nolan
Nolan Reimold will step in now. Reimold struck out. He's the only strikeout tonight so far for Moscoso. Reimold back in that number 1 hole, the leadoff spot for the Orioles. Reimold struggling against the Athletics this year. In 18 at-bats, just 1 hit for the big outfielder. And Moscoso ready to deal to Nolan. Pitch on the way, and Reimold hits a hard shot on 2 hops to the shortstop. Pennington up with it, throws to first. That's the inning. But the Orioles on that Reynolds double moved to third on the ground ball out, and then scoring on a ground ball out. Comes in to give the Orioles their first run of the night. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's Oakland 3, Orioles 1 on the Orioles Radio Network. Hideki Matsui will step in now. The lead off, bottom of the 3rd. It's a 3-1 Oakland lead. Oakland scoring all 3 of their runs in the 2nd. The Orioles coming with a run in the top of the 3rd. 45 pitches tonight for Brian Mattis. 41 through 3 innings for Guillermo Moscoso. Hideki Matsui popped out in foul ground to Josh Bella's first at bat. Lefty against lefty, and the pitch to Matsui outside with a breaking ball. Matsui has been hot since the All-Star break, hitting about 394 since the break. Overall, Matsui hitting 263. Veteran left-handed batter, has some pop. In the delivery from Mattis, Matsui pops it up. Again, third base side. This is playable for the catcher, Matt Wieters, who makes the grab in foul territory. And so Matsui tonight has hit the ball in the air twice, once to the third baseman at foul ground, this time to Matt Wieters. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Orioles Radio Network.
Now batting, the fielder, number 16, Josh Willingham.
Josh Willingham, the first of the 2 strikeouts tonight for Brian Mattis, will step in now. Willingham struck out 3 times, going 1 for 4 last night. Breaking ball to Willingham, it's in there for a strike. Willingham leads the Oakland Ball Club with 19 home runs and his 66 knocked in. Powerful right-handed batter. However, he's just 3 for his last 17. Never had a hit against Brian Mattis in 4 at-bats. Willingham takes this one outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Willingham. Willingham, then Brandon Allen. Orioles lead the season series against Oakland, 4 wins to 3 losses. And the delivery on the way to Willingham. High drive, deep to left field. This one's no doubt about it. Going, gone. Number 20 for Willingham, way out of here. Well out over the out-of-town American League scoreboard and back into that stands. So Willingham puts Oakland ahead 4-1 with home run number 20, RBI 67. That's the 10th home run given up by Brian Mattis in 7 starts this season. That pitch was up in the zone and toward the outer portion of the plate, just enough to get the fat part of the bat.
First baseman, number 31, Brandon Allen.
Brandon Allen, a walk and a run scored his first at bat, will step in.
Well, that's a good example right there, Fred.
And here's the pitch to the left-handed batting first baseman. Breaking ball has the plate, strike one.
We talk about a pitcher who does not have velocity. That's a location where if he throws it there with velocity, he can get away with it. But with no velocity, he pays the price.
And this one's low to Allen, a ball and a strike, and he paid the price going out of the ball yard for Willingham. For Willingham, that's his 3rd home run against the Orioles this season.
And that thing was right in the wheelhouse.
And the 1-1 delivery to the left-handed batting first baseman. Line slicing down the left field side. It is going to be a foul ball by several feet. Down the left side. Allen now with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Allen 6 for his last 8. I mentioned he came over from the Arizona Diamondbacks in a trade at the deadline. Then went down to Sacramento. Allen trying to stake a claim at that first base spot. Got Connor Jackson who's hurt. And Allen getting the opportunity to play with Jackson down. Scott Sizemore to follow. For Oakland, 4 runs on 4 hits. The Orioles have managed 1 run on 1 hit against Moscoso. We are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ryan Mattis making his first start since June 30th. Delivers a bouncer towards second base. Andino will play the hop, throw to first. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. KTBS Payroll and Kelly & Associates Insurance Group will donate $1,000 to the R. Adams Scally Shock Trauma Center every time an Orioles pitcher records a save this season. That'll go a long way to help save more lives in our community. Sizemore doubled in a run, the first run of the ballgame last inning, picking up his 32nd RBI. He has been struggling over his last 21 games. Came into this game hitting 197. Pitch low to the right-handed batting third baseman. Sizemore, however, has hit left-handed pitching pretty well this year, hitting over 300 against southpaws. And the left-hander Mattis delivers a high fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. Sizemore, 5 home runs, 32 knocked in, hitting 236 on the season. And the Mattis delivery to the infielder. Sizemore swings through a fastball. Fastball coming in at 87, and it was up to Sizemore. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Brian Mattis, 1 win, 4 losses on the year. Disappointing season all the way around for Brian, outside 3-1. Remember, he started the season on the disabled list for 2 months, and then has never found the form that he had to end last season. The 3-1 delivery, Sizemore hits a high foul out of play right side. You know, the Orioles will be returning to Camden Yards on Friday, August 26th to begin a special 5-game, 4-day series against the Yankees. Good seats still remain for all 5 games, including both games Saturday, August 27th, in that day-night doubleheader. The 3-2 pitch to Sizemore, bounced towards short. The high hop played by Hardy. His throw to first, and that's the final out. But a home run by Willingham. And the Oakland A's have increased their lead to 4-1 over the Orioles as we go to the top of the 4th on the Orioles Radio Network. Well, last week's American League Player of the Week, J.J. Hardy, will lead off for the Orioles. Hardy hit a fly ball to DeJesus in right field his first trip. 4-1 Oakland. Top of the 4th inning, Hardy, Markakis, and Jones for the Birds against Guillermo Moscoso, trying to even his record at 6-6. Moscoso a double rock, now a kick and a delivery, fastball high. Moscoso not as pronounced with that rocking as Michael Gonzalez of the Orioles, but just before he delivers, kind of hesitates and does a double rock, sometimes a triple rock. Delivery to J.J. right down the middle this time, 1-1. Hardy, 7 hits, 26 at-bats, and a home run against Oakland. That home run came against Moscoso back in Baltimore. Delivery to J.J., swing and a miss at a high fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moscoso coming in at 90 miles per hour with that delivery. Moscoso ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Suzuki gives the sign to his right-hander, and now Moscoso's delivery is low. 2-2. Another pitch that the fans in the stands and Moscoso thought he might get from the home plate umpire Brian Gorman, but did not. Two ball, two strike delivery on the way. And J.J. Hardy hits a line drive, and he pulls it foul toward the bullpen area in foul ground down the left field side. Talked about that Yankee series coming up when the Orioles return home. I want to remind you how you can get your tickets, and there are good seats available for all 5 of those games. Call the Orioles at 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Again, two ball, two strike pitch. And delivery to J.J. slaps the foul out of play off to the right side. You know, this road trip just beginning for the Orioles. Game 2 of 3 here in Oakland. And the Orioles will head down to Southern California, an off day Thursday, and then 3 this weekend with the Angels, and then head to the Midwest, to Minneapolis, St. Paul for 4 against the Twins. The 2-2 pitch on the way to J.J. Hardy. He swings and fouls it back, coming back our way and just beneath us. Thought for a moment there we'd have a souvenir here in the box, but not so. 2 balls, 2 strikes. J.J. having an extended at bat against Moscoso. Adam Jones, before walking the lone walk of the ball game to the Orioles, had a 10-pitch at bat. The 2-2 delivery on the way to J.J. Swing and a miss at the soft breaking ball. He is gone. That's the second strikeout for Moscoso. 1 gone for the Orioles here in the 4th. Nick Markakis, a fly ball to the center fielder Coco Crisp, his first at bat. Now the Orioles lead this series 4-3. They are 1-3 here in Oakland, and they are 3-0 against the A's in Baltimore. Tonight and tomorrow, the final 2 games of the season play between these ball clubs. The Moscoso delivery to Nick, high with a fastball and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The Orioles have not won a series against this Oakland ball club, hard to believe, since 1998. The Orioles went 8-3 against Oakland that year. Moscoso's 1-0 pitch to the left-handed batter Markakis, a strike at the knees, outer portion. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles looking for their first road series victory this year since mid-May when they won a series against the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. The 1-1 delivery, outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And overall, the Orioles have not won a series since late June when they beat the Cincinnati Reds at the Yards. So Orioles would like to get things rolling on a positive note on this road trip here in Oakland. They won last night. Right now trail 4-1 in the top of the 4th with 1 out. Markakis takes ball 3 down and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Orioles looking for their first back-to-back victories since mid-July. So it's a lot of firsts that they're looking to do here in Oakland. Markakis, a line shot toward left center field. Coco Crisp on the run. He will get there and make the grab. Ball kept slicing away from Crisp, but he has plenty of speed. And he accelerated and then slowed down just to time it perfectly as he got to the ball. And that's out number 2 for the Orioles. Here's Adam Jones. He mentioned Adam with that extended at bat as he walked to start the 2nd inning. Guerrero then hit a fly ball to right field. And the inning was brought to an end when Matt Wieters hit into the 3-6-3 double play. Jones has hit in 5 consecutive games on the season, hitting .293, 21 home runs, 72 runs knocked in. And the pitch on the way to the Orioles center fielder, strike 1. 0-1 to Adam. Jones 2 for 5, and his looks at Guillermo Moscoso. And Moscoso on the way to Jones, 1 strike. High and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow afternoon, it'll be a 12:35 game out here on the West Coast, 3:35 back in Baltimore. And the Orioles will have Alfredo Simon on the hill. Brandon McCarthy, a right-hander, will pitch for the Oakland A's. The delivery to Adam, hard ground ball foul, pulls it down the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When the Orioles get to Anaheim against the fading Angels at this point, it'll be Jeremy Guthrie, JoJo Reyes, and Tommy Hunter. And Dan Herron, Garrett Richards, and Tyler Chatwood will be the pitchers for the Angels down there in Anaheim. Here's the 1-2 pitch with 2 down to Adam Jones. Jones lines it to center field, a base hit. A 2-out single for Jones. He's on base for a second time tonight. And now Vladdy will step in. So for the Orioles, just their second hit tonight against Moscoso. The first hit, a leadoff double last inning by Reynolds, went to third on a ground out to the right side by Andino, and then came in on a ground out off the bat of Josh Bell for the Orioles' only run of the ball game. Oakland scored 3 times in the second inning, 1 more in the third to lead 4-1. We're now in the top of the fourth. Here's Vladdy. Guerrero awaits the delivery from Moscoso. Pitch to Guerrero, big swing and a miss. 0-1 to the Orioles' designated hitter. Guerrero has had hits in 4 consecutive games, 6 for his last 17 now. Out of that number 5 spot, he is now 6 for 16 with a home run and 5 knocked in. Quick throw to first, and Adam Jones dives back to the bag. 0-1 the count with 2 down and Jones at first base. Guerrero, 10 home runs on the year, 3 coming away from Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And Moscoso's delivery on the way to, quick throw to first again, and Adam dives back. Of course, Wayne Kirby in that first base coach's area. Willie Randolph all the way across the diamond at third base in the coach's box. Moscoso has now thrown 59 pitches. The delivery on the way to Guerrero, swinging a foul straight back, 0-2 to Vladdy. Guerrero's had 1 hit in 6 at-bats against Moscoso. Moscoso, since the All-Star break, has not pitched as well as he did prior. 2 wins, 2 losses with an ERA at above 6 since the break. Moscoso ahead of Guerrero, 0-2. Runner at first, 2 down. Delivered to Vlad. Slice toward right center field. Coco Crisp on the run. He won't be able to get it. Goes to the base of the wall. Jones will round third. He will come in to score the second run of the night for the Orioles. And Vladimir Guerrero pulls into second base with an RBI 2-bagger. And the Orioles now trail it 4-2. It all started with the Jones 2-out single. Guerrero on an 0-2 pitch, doubling. And the Orioles now have 2 runs on the board. For Vladimir Guerrero, 2,536 hits, 89th on the all-time list.
Now batting,
he's
32,
chasing George Van Haltren, who is 88th with 2,547 hits. I don't remember George all that well. I don't remember seeing him hit or play. Maybe you do, Joe. He's quiet.
Why do you say that?
I don't know.
In fact, I did see him play.
Here's Matt Wieters. Wieters hit into a double play his first at bat. And the delivery on the way to the Oriole catcher, swing and a miss. He could not hold back on a pitch up and in, so 1 strike. Wieters saying that this air here in Oakland, of course, a lot different than on the East Coast and in the South, maybe in Texas, where it's so hot. Temperature here at game time about 60 degrees, and it's very refreshing for the players to come out here and play and kind of get rejuvenated. And Wieters saying that's the case as he goes behind the plate. 0-1 the count to Matt. Lifts a little lazy fly ball to left field. It could be trouble. Racing out as the shortstop and making the grab as he got to the foul line is Pennington to grab it for the final out. Orioles do score a run with 2 down. The single by Jones, the Guerrero double to get him in. We go to the bottom of the 4th in Oakland. It's the Orioles trailing the A's 4-2 on the Orioles Radio Network. Hey, gather up your group and enjoy Oriole Park's newest fan destination, the Miller Lite Flight Deck. For one low price, you'll enjoy a fun, casual atmosphere with bar-like seating and a great view of the game. Plus, everyone in your group will receive a food and beverage voucher to use throughout the ballpark. For more on the Miller Lite Flight Deck, call 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Now we go to the bottom of the 4th. Orioles trailing by 2 now, 4-2. And Joe has had a recall of George Van Haltren and his playing days.
Yeah, it's funny you brought his name up, and I remember watching him play back in the late 1800s.
And didn't he play for the Orioles back then at one point? High, ball 1 to David DeJesus.
I thought you said you knew nothing about him.
Well, when I saw the paper, I did.
Yeah, right. Well, I actually saw him play. He played for the Chicago. Of course, then they were known as the White Stockings.
Okay, yeah.
Back in 1887.
Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way to De Jesus, a line drive, left field base hit. So his first base hit, a leadoff single here in the fourth. So tell me more.
Well, I remember that year, 1887, George had a great swing.
Yeah, I did.
Much like Rafael Palmeiro.
Wow.
Remember that year he put together an 11-game hitting streak that was hard to believe that year.
Now,
But he also played for the Brooklyn Ball Club.
That wasn't the Dodgers then, was it?
No. It was the Brooklyn Words Wonders.
Oh.
And he did play for the Orioles in 1891. Only for a couple of years, though.
And where did he go after that?
He went to the Pirates after that, if I remember correctly.
If you remember correctly.
Yeah. And then eventually wound up with the New York Giants
Wow.
in the early 1900s.
Amazing you have such recall.
Yeah, and he's 88th on the all-time hit list.
Here's a double play ball right to J.J. Hardy, on to Andino, to first base, 6-4-3 as Kurt Suzuki hits into his 12th double play of the season. 2 gone.
And you know, what few people remember about George is the fact that he died right here in Oakland.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
He died at the age of 79.
My goodness.
Yeah. In fact, I went to his funeral.
Oh, God. Boy.
Yeah.
You know how to pile it on, don't you?
When he was buried,
Oh, yeah. Cliff Pennington takes a pitch down and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
they put 2 bats in his coffin.
Well,
It was dead wood, though.
a great moment in baseball history. 1-0 to Pennington. Pennington had a single to drive in a run. His first look at Brian Mattis tonight. Mattis tonight working in the bottom of the fourth, 2 down. He's given up 4 runs on 5 hits. Brian has thrown 65 pitches. And the delivery on the way to the 9th place hitter, Pennington. And there's a pitch called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pennington with 38 runs knocked in, a switch hitting shortstop, hitting in the number 9 hole for Bob Melvin. With 2 down, the Mattis delivery on the way. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. He got a fastball upstairs, and Pennington did not make contact. 3rd strikeout tonight for Brian Mattis. So the leadoff single, the double play ball, and now the strikeout. We head to the 5th inning here in Oakland. Orioles trailing by 2, 4-2 on the Orioles Radio Network. Well, 3 runs in the second, 1 run in the third for Oakland. The Orioles have put together solo runs in the 3rd and 4th against Guillermo Moscoso. We go to the 5th. Birds trailing by 2, 4-2. Once again, here's Joe Angel.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Mr. Manfra. Bottom of the order for the Orioles here in the 5th inning. Reynolds leads off. He had a double his first time up and a run scored. Now a big swing and a miss here. Reynolds had the home run last night and a base on balls. And, of course, coming into this game, Reynolds in a funk. Just 2 hits in 29 at-bats, including the home run here last night. Now the 0-1 delivery. Reynolds, he takes it low and outside for a ball. Reynolds came in hitting .211, but now with 27 home runs and with 63 knocked in. He digs in the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball just a little bit low and outside, man. And again, that time Moscoso did not get that corner call. So 2-1 now to Mark Reynolds. And now Moscoso delivers again. Reynolds takes a breaking ball low. So 3-1 the count. Mark Reynolds with a double his first time up and then scored after a couple of ground ball outs. 3-1 delivery. Reynolds a big swing and a foul tip into Suzuki's mitt with the count 3-2. Mark Reynolds, of his last 7 hits, 4 have been home runs. And of his last 13 hits, 6 have been home runs. Swings and he fouls this one off to the right. Down there behind first base. Chasing it is Allen, but it's back about 4 rows. So they'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Guillermo Moscoso. They've given up a couple of runs and 3 hits in this game. Infield backed up to count 3-2. Moscoso is ready. Reynolds back in the box, wide open stance. And now the 3-2 pitch on the way. Reynolds gets a piece of it, fouled it back again. So they'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On the SK scoreboard now in the 9th inning, the Yankees lead Kansas City 9-7. In that game, Robbie Cano hit number 21, and Melky Cabrera hit number 16 for Kansas City. 3-2 pitch on the way. Reynolds again gets a piece of it. Little foul ball. I mentioned earlier the Red Sox split their day-night doubleheader against Tampa Bay. Interesting, the Red Sox in the doubleheader, in the entire doubleheader, had a grand total of 6 hits. They got 3 hits in the first game, and they won that game on a 3-run home run hit by Jacoby Ellsbury. And they also got 3 hits in the second game, but they lost that game. Here's a pop-up, foul territory near the coaching box at first base. Is Allen to make the catch, and Reynolds, after a long at-bat, finally pops out. So 1 away, now here's Robert Andino. Hey, fans, the Orioles would like to recognize our proud sponsor, DentaQuest. It is the fastest growing dental plan in Birdland, so visit DentaQuestDental.com to get more information. Robert Andino tonight, 0 for 1. A little ground ball to second base. Oakland ahead 4-2 in the 5th, 1 away, bases empty. And now the right-hander Moscoso delivers. And Dino takes the ball up and in. And now Moscoso into a windup again, and here comes the 1-0 delivery. And Dino hits a fly ball into shallow left. Out goes Pennington. In comes Willingham, and Willingham dropped the ball. And there goes Andino racing into second base, and the throw there is wide and late. Willingham came racing in toward the infield, got a glove on that thing as he tried to make that catch, just off his left elbow, kind of leaning over, and he let that ball get away. And so the Athletics, and I believe that is their 100th error of the season. Well, they've been one of the worst defensive teams in the major leagues. I think only the Cubs have made more errors this season than the Oakland A's. And that one, number 100 right there. So Andino winds up at second base. That'll be a 2-base error. And now here's Josh Bell with a chance to pick up an RBI. And Moscoso delivers. Bell takes a high fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, last night, Oakland played errorless baseball, but the prior week they had made a ton of errors. Very concerning to Bob Melvin, their skipper, and cost him some runs. And Bell digs in. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. This a strike. Picked up the outside corner. Well, even Bob Guerin had concerns, the ex-manager, because on opening day this year, Oakland made 5 errors. So right away, they gave you an idea of what kind of a season it might be defensively. And now the look to second base, but there's no throw. Yeah, I think last Saturday they made 4 errors in one game. Yeah.
And now Moscoso ready again. He'll check the runner. And delivers. And Bell takes a fastball just outside that time. So the count 2-1. Top of the 9th inning, White Sox now lead Cleveland 7-6. The Chicago White Sox right now very much in contention. Even though just a 500 ball club, but they're playing good ball right now. 2-1 delivery. Bell lines it into right center. That ball is dropping, and that's a base hit. Andino being waved in. He's going to score without a play. The throw back into second base. Josh Bell picks up his second RBI tonight. Last night he had 2. So Bell has knocked in 4 runs in the last couple of games, and now it's a 1-run game in Oakland. It is now 4-3 Athletics. And now the top of the order comes up in Nolan Reimold.
14, Nolan Reimold.
Well, there had been some speculation that Josh Bell might wind up going back to the minor leagues. Brian Mattis was brought back for the start here tonight, but that did not turn out to be the case. Bell had a big ball game last night. Chris Davis was placed on the 15-day disabled list today, and that's how they made room for Brian Mattis. And now here's Reimold. And Nolan, a big swing and a foul back to the screen.
So it appears we're going to see a lot more of Mark Reynolds playing first base and Josh Bell at third.
Well, Josh Bell, mentioned, knocked in a couple of runs last night. Also made a marvelous defensive play on a pop-up in that bullpen down there in that left field foul territory. Nothing in one to Reimold. Moscoso delivers. And there's a breaking ball, a swing and a foul tip. Good breaking ball there, down and away. And look, there's a Reimold trying to pull that breaking ball. That's a kind of a pitch. Pretty good breaking ball down and away. You take that to the opposite field, if you can. And now the 0-2 delivery. Fastball, swing and a miss, struck him out. That time Moscoso got away with the fact that he missed his spot. He saw the catcher Suzuki set up away, down and away, and yet Moscoso threw that fastball up and in, and he got away with it. Reimold could not put that thing in play, so he strikes out. Moscoso now with 3 strikeouts in this game, and now here's J.J. Hardy up there with 2 outs and a man aboard. Now, J.J. in this game is 0 for 2, and right now, remember last year he was named the player of the week in the American League. And he takes a high fastball. But J.J., who was outstanding last week, but lately, well, he is 0 for his last 16. And he's had 7 strikeouts in that stretch. So just scuffling a little bit here. And he takes a fastball at the knees. That's a called strike. Earlier today, Troy Tulowitzki of the Colorado Rockies hit another home run. He's got 25 now. He's got the most home runs of any shortstop in baseball. But J.J. Hardy right behind him with 23. Think about J.J. Remember, he missed about 30 days on the disabled list. So he's been very impressive. And there's a foul ball back towards Mighty Casey. Sitting just to my right. Busy on his computer, gathering information, providing us with vital details on the happenings in our great game. He is our in-game info man. And now the 1-2 pitch. J.J. takes a fastball up and away.
If he's doing all that, why do I see MC Hammer dancing on the screen in a video?
Well, I think Casey deserves an audience.
Oh, okay.
MC Hammer. Yeah, they had a bobblehead day for MC Hammer here. And somehow Casey got one of them. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, the count 3-2. MC Hammer, who started back in the old Reggie Jackson days here with those great Oakland ball clubs. MC Hammer, I think, was a bat boy. He was a clubhouse kid.
Yeah, and he resembled the Hammer, right. Henry Aaron.
That's right. I remember MC Hammer scalping tickets out in the parking lot. And now the 3-2 pitch. There goes the runner. There's a shot to short. Up with the ball is Pennington. He'll sling it to first base to get the out. So J.J.'s 0 for 3 in this game, but the Orioles get one more as they get a gift run here. They also leave a runner. And we get to the bottom of the 5th. Now 4-3, Oakland on the Orioles radio network. And hello again, baseball fans. Joe Angel with Fred Manfra. And our producer-engineer, the Mighty Man, Mighty Casey Willett. Nice to have you aboard on this Tuesday night in the East Bay, Oakland, California. It's on the east side of the San Francisco Bay Bridge. Just a gorgeous area. The San Francisco area. Oakland, not so much. And now here's Jemile Weeks to lead off for Oakland in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brian Mattis. Now it's a 1-run game. A's are ahead 4-3. And Mattis delivers the call strike. Mattis, who has struggled just a bit again tonight, but in the 4th inning, gave up a leadoff single, but then he got a double play ball, and then a strikeout. So maybe his most impressive inning so far tonight. Now Weeks takes low, and the count even up at 1-1. Josh Bell, J.J. Hardy, Robert Andino, and Mark Reynolds third to first. Matt Wieters doing the catching. Reimold, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield left to right. And now the fastball is up and away to Weeks. Jemile Weeks 1 for 2 in this game, an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. And now the left-hander again ready, delivers 2-1. Oh, good breaking ball there. In there for a call strike, picked up the outside corner. Boy, that was a big bender right there. I mean, if you're a right-hand hitter, you get a breaking ball like that, it looks like it's a foot outside. And then all of a sudden it just darts in. Well, that was a real good breaking ball there. And now the next one is driven out to deep right, but Markakis is fading back on the ball, then reaches up, and just as he got to the edge of the warning track out there, he'll make the catch. So Weeks gone a fly ball out, that time on a fastball that Weeks took to the opposite field. And now here's the Cocoa Man. A's ahead 4-3, bottom of the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 9th inning, Florida leads Colorado 6-5. Mentioned Tulowitzki in that game for the Rockies at number 25. Bottom of the 5th inning, San Diego leads the Mets 3-1. And there's a ball to Coco Crisp. Final score, the Nationals won. They beat Cincinnati 6-4. Ryan Zimmerman with his 7th home run for the Nats. Cheng Ming Wong won that game. Say that 10 times in a row real fast. Crisp takes a little bit low. Arizona, they beat Philadelphia 3-2. And they didn't just beat Philadelphia, they beat Roy Halladay. He is now 15-5. He took that loss. And Coco takes a call strike at the knees. In that game, J.J. Putz picked up a save number 30. Arizona now with a 3.5 game division lead over San Francisco. Liner to short. Backhand, short hop to Andino, and then straightens and throws to first to get the out. And that ball was scorched. A little one-hop liner just off the top of the dirt. Andino backhanded it. And once he did that, he had plenty of time to get the out. Boy, some good hands right there. And Brian Mattis shows his appreciation.
Brian came off the mound, said, "That a baby."
Well, I remember back in the 2nd inning, Mattis gave up a couple of blue pits that cost him a couple of runs. That time, a scorcher turns into an out. And now here's Matsui. He takes upstairs, ball 1. Yeah, the San Francisco Giants were beaten by Atlanta in 11 innings. Atlanta won that ball game 2-1. Here comes a pitch. And Matsui takes upstairs. The count 2-0. The Giants continue their struggles. They've lost, I think, like 10 out of 14 games. And now the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, look out. A little chin music to Hideki Matsui. You have to back away to the count 3-0. And now Brian Mattis again delivers 3-0. Picked up a strike on the inside corner. Same two teams again tomorrow, a day finale here in Oakland. After that, it'll be on to Southern California. Off day on Thursday. Then the Angels all weekend. And then on to Minnesota, Target Field. There's a breaking ball at 3-1. That's in there for a call strike. So 3-2 now to Hideki Matsui. Well, TUE's 0 for 2 in this game. A couple of foul ball outs in this game. So he has not put the ball tonight between the white lines. 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, skied to left center. Pretty deep, but Reimold backing up, got a beat on it. Reaches up, makes the catch. Mattis gets him 1-2-3 for the first time in this game. At the end of 5, Oakland leads it 4-3 on the Orioles Radio Network. And as you know, the Orioles are fortunate to be surrounded by dedicated military personnel throughout the region. And so to honor these brave men and women, the Orioles have recently announced a variety of military programs designed to bring our national pastime to our nation's heroes. And if you'd like to find out more about these exclusive discounts and offers, all you do is visit Orioles.com/military, or you can call 888-848-BIRD. Let's get right to Fred Manfred.
Well, thanks a lot, Joe. First pitch to Markakis, a strike. Nick has hit fly balls twice to center fielder Coco Crisp. As Moscoso on the way to the left-handed batting outfielder, high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles trailing by a run, 4-3. 4 runs, 5 hits for Oakland. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Orioles. One of their runs unearned. Moscoso on the way with his 90th pitch and a slicing fly ball left field base hit. The ball is snared by Willingham, and it almost got by him as the left fielder raced toward the foul line, had to reach far to his right to come up with that ball. And he did with the cross body and the glove, and it holds Markakis to a single. So Nick is on. Markakis had a base hit last night, his first hit tonight. Here's Adam Jones. He's been on base twice. First at bat, 10 pitches and a walk. Second at bat, a single, and with 2 out in the 4th inning, and then came in on a Vladimir Guerrero double. That was the Orioles' second run of the ball game. So Adam Jones now with Nick at first base, nobody down. We're in the 6th inning. And the delivery to Adam, high pop-up. Shallow center field. Going out is the shortstop, Pennington. He calls off everybody, and the shortstop makes the grab about 20 yards in shallow center field. Well, as you look out to center field here at the Coliseum, of course, this is where the Oakland Raiders play their football games, and you can definitely tell where they put the portable seats for football, because there's a huge patch of just brown grass and lines where the seating structures would be put. Also, the football lines are starting to be erased somewhat. Chalk marks. Here's Vladdy. He had a double to drive in a run his last at bat. Swings and fouls it straight back, 0-1. Guerrero now with 42 runs knocked in. It was his 16th double. And that at the time made the ball game a 4-2 ball game. And the Orioles made it 4-3 last inning with that unearned run, a key error on a fly ball to left field that Willingham misplayed. And then an RBI single by Josh Bell as he has driven in 2 runs tonight, one on a ground out, the other on the base hit. Markakis being held at first base by Allen. Moscoso with activity in the bullpen now for the Oakland Ball Club. Sets. And the pitch on the way to Guerrero, down and away with a breaking ball. A ball and a strike. Brian Fuentes warming in the bullpen for Oakland, a left-hander. Moscoso's 1-1 delivery. Fly ball, left field. Breaking back is Willingham. He says he has it, and he does for out number 2. You know your favorite birds are back with their favorite dogs and cats in the 2012 Orioles Pet Calendar, presented by Southwest Airlines. Pick up your 15-month calendar featuring your favorite O's like Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, and more. Proceeds benefit Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your 2012 pet calendar, call 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Matt Wieters up now. He's hit into a double play and popped out. Matt homered here last night. Scored a couple of runs. And the switch-hitting catcher takes the first pitch, a strike at the knees to the outer portion of the plate. 0-1 to Wieters. Wieters has had 11 home runs, 6 from the third base side batter's box. Of course, bats as a left-hander against the right-hander Moscoso. And delivery to Matt, a foul straight back, 0-2 to the Orioles catcher. He'll be followed by Mark Reynolds if the Orioles can extend the inning. Wieters, after taking that cut, steps out of the box, hitting .255. Standing on the bag at first base, Markakis. He started the inning with a single, since a pop out to short and a fly ball to left. And now an 0-2 count to Wieters. Moscoso on the way to Matt, way outside. He doesn't chase a pitch down and away. On the SK out-of-town scoreboard, Cleveland and Chicago, they are now in the bottom of the 10th inning at the Cell. And the White Sox and the Indians are tied at 7 runs apiece. Travis Hafner, his 11th home run for Cleveland. Juan Pierre, number 2, quick throw to first. Back is Nick Markakis. Other games underway at this point. Texas leading the Angels 6-1. Josh Hamilton, his 15th home run down there in Anaheim. That's the next stop on this road trip for the Orioles. And the delivery all the way to Wieters. Fastball, strike 3 call. So Wieters watched it go by. The 4th strikeout for Moscoso. He has thrown 98 pitches to the Orioles tonight. The Orioles leave a runner here in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the inning. It's still Oakland 4, Orioles 3 on the Orioles Radio Network. Well, late night baseball on the radio. Thanks for sticking with us on this Tuesday night as we approach the witching hour of midnight on the East Coast. I want to thank those listening on the Orioles Radio Network. Folks down in Staunton, Virginia, listening on WKDW AM 900. Thanks for being with us. Right now, the Orioles trail it by a run. Brian Mattis, making his first start since June 30th, has gone 5 innings, thrown 82 pitches, and has given up 4 runs to the Oakland Ball Club on just 5 hits. Here's Josh Willingham, who's accounted for 1 of those runs with a home run, his 20th of the year. The pitch to Willingham, a strike. Willingham later in the ballgame made a key error that helped the Orioles to an unearned run in the 5th inning against Moscoso. Josh Willingham now 67 knocked in, 20 home runs. Willingham hitting .248 out in left field tonight for Oakland. The pitch to the right-handed batter. Willingham lines it toward right center field. That's going to drop in for the base hit. Over quickly is Markakis. Second hit tonight for Willingham. 2 for 3. Leadoff single. Brandon Allen, the young first baseman, will step in now. Allen has walked and scored and grounded out. Allen came into this ballgame having had consecutive 3-hit games. Last night went 3 for 4, had 3 hits in the wrap-up against Texas. Mentioned the Texas Rangers leading the Angels 6-1 in Anaheim in the bottom of the 5th inning. Texas right now with a 5-game lead over the Angels, the second-place ball club in the American League West. The left-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. The Mattis delivery to Allen. Strike, inside corner, fastball. 0-1. Allen, young man, began his career in that Arizona Diamondbacks organization, getting an opportunity here with the Oakland A's. Mattis looking at Willingham at first, delivers to Allen. Here's a looper towards shallow center field. Coming on is Jones. He will get there to make the grab. They have a chance to double up Willingham, and they do. As Jones fires back to Reynolds at first base to double up Willingham. The double play, second time that Adam Jones has been involved in a double play tonight. Earlier in the ballgame, he threw out a base runner at the plate after catching a fly ball. This time, he sends the throw to first base to double up Willingham. So Willingham, a blunder there. 2 gone. And that one goes 8-3. 2 gone for Scott Sizemore. And Sizemore takes it down and away. Ball 1. So Willingham hits the home run, commits a costly error, and then gets doubled up. Mattis with his 84th pitch of the night. It's taken low. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Adam Jones had 12 assists with that play at the plate to nail a runner, and now 13 assists with the double play. And he leaps over Jeff Francoeur for second place. Alex Gordon of Kansas City with 18 assists leads the American League. So Jones with 13 assists. Nick Markakis has 11. Here's a line drive foul out of play off to the right side. Well, Adam Jones knew he had Willingham with a good throw, and he made a decent throw to first base to nail Willingham, who had been caught midway between the bag at first and second base. And the foul back out of play off the bat of Scott Sizemore. 2 balls, 2 strikes. SK out of town scoreboard. Toronto has taken an 8-6 lead in the top of the 5th at Seattle. Aaron Hill with his 6th home run. And a pitch low. Casper Wells, another home run for Seattle, the Towson University product, now 9, and Miguel Olivo hit his 15th. But Toronto 8-6 in the top of the 5th in Seattle. And Brian Fuentes, who was warming last inning, continues to warm, and here's a strike 3 called as Sizemore goes down for the final out. Big double play, however, as Adam Jones doubled up Willingham at first base. We go to the 7th inning. It's still a 1-run Oakland lead on the Orioles radio network. Well, the new pitcher is Brian Fuentes. He takes over for Moscoso, who went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. And before Fuentes goes to work here in the top of the 7th, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Orioles radio network.
Hitting off the top of the 7th inning for Baltimore, number 12, Mark.
Now Fuentes will be facing the bottom third of the Orioles order, Reynolds, Andino, and Bell in this 1-run ball game. For Fuentes, this is his 56th appearance, 2-8 with a 4.13 ERA, 46 hits in 48 innings. He's allowed 4 home runs, struck out 36, walked 18. So the left-hander to face the right-handed bat. Pitched outside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. Fuentes, 36 years of age, 10-year veteran in the big leagues. Reynolds is 2 for 5 with a home run against the southpaw, and the delivery to Mark. Bounce toward shortstop. Pennington will field, quickly throw to first, and they get Reynolds by several steps. 1 gone. Robert Andino is up now. Andino has grounded out, then hit a fly ball to shallow left field that Willingham called off Pennington, and the left fielder dropped the ball. And winding up at second base on the 2-base error was Andino, who later came in to score on the Josh Bell single. That was the unearned run given up by Moscoso. Andino, his first at bat on that ground out with a runner at second base, advanced the runner to third. And then later, Mark Reynolds, who had doubled to start the inning, came in to score on the Josh Bell ground out. So Andino takes the first pitch for a strike. Andino, a couple of hits and 4 at-bats against this veteran southpaw, one-time closer, Brian Fuentes. And the delivery to Andino outside, a ball and a strike. Grant Balfour begins to warm now for Oakland. He's a right-hander, hard-throwing right-hander. Fuentes, hands together at the belt. And the delivery on the way to Andino, swing and a miss, off-speed stuff, and Andino way out in front on that 74-mile-an-hour delivery. And he's in the hole, a ball and 2 strikes. Andino, as he stands in, hitting .259. And the Fuentes pitch on the way to the Orioles second baseman. Backs Andino away, and it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andino not yet settled in the third base side box. Now he will get ready as he awaits the 2-2 pitch with 1 out in the 7th. Oakland leading 4-3. And the delivery, high, ball 3. I want to wish everybody a good morning back on the East Coast as it's past the midnight hour. We'll be here for afternoon baseball tomorrow, 12:35 Pacific time, 3:35 East Coast time for the wrap-up game of this three-game series. That's the first pitch. We'll be on a half hour prior with the manager's show and the warm-up. The 3-2 delivery on the way to Andino. He lines it down the right field side. That's in for a base hit. Getting over there quickly is DeJesus to prevent Andino from getting a two-bagger, but a base hit for Robert. A one-out single, and now Josh Bell will bat as a right-handed batter against the southpaw. Bell tonight has picked up a couple of runs knocked in. He now has 5 on the year. And before Josh steps into the box, he gives a long look to Willie Randolph in the third base coach's box. Fuentes, the second Oakland pitcher tonight. Moscoso left with a 4-3 lead, giving up 3 runs, just 2 earned in 6 innings of work against the Birds. Now Fuentes with that runner at first and 1 down. And they throw over to first, and Andino gets back. This will be Josh Bell's first look ever at Fuentes. Last night in the ball game, Josh Bell had a 2 RBI night, 2 more runs knocked in tonight for the Oriole third baseman. And Bell takes a fastball strike above the knees on the inside corner. Fuentes coming in with his 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Fuentes is not a flamethrower. Upper 80s, low 90s with that fastball. Of course, as we mentioned one time, a closer. And the Fuentes set and the delivery to Bell, high and away. Ball and a strike. Alfredo Simon on the hill for the Orioles tomorrow in the afternoon game. Brandon McCarthy for the Oakland Athletics. McCarthy 5-6 with a 3.62 ERA. Alfredo 3 wins, 5 losses. And the pitch to Josh, high and away again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wouldn't chase that off-speed pitch. Fuentes, after the delivery, took a little sidewalk to the third base side of the mound and then climbs to the top of the hill now as he has Andino at first base with 1 out. The 2-1 offering to Josh Bell, swing and a miss. Bell with a mighty rip. 2-2 to the switch-hitting third baseman. Bell not in the original lineup, but when it was discovered that Chris Davis's shoulder was still causing pain, the Orioles put him on the disabled list. You'll see Dr. Yoakum in Southern California on Thursday. The delivery 2-2 to Bell. Strike 3 called inside corner. Josh jumped back, but had that pitch called a strike by home plate umpire Brian Gorman. And we're going to have a pitching change with the right-handed bat and Nolan Reimold coming up. Grant Balfour will be coming in. So that's the first strikeout for Brian Fuentes, and that'll be the last batter he faces as the hard-throwing Balfour will step in to face Nolan Reimold, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Fuentes leaves with that base runner at first base, 2 down. Orioles trailing 4-3 here in Oakland in the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's get back to Fed Manfred.
Well, thanks a lot, Joe. Grant Balfour will face the right-handed bat of Nolan Reimold. By the way, the call to the bullpen was brought to you by Granger. And that call went to Balfour, trying to get the final out for Oakland in the top of the 7th. The Orioles have Andino at first with 2 down. Nolan 0 for 8 in the series so far. 0 for 3 tonight against the starter, Guillermo Moscoso. Balfour ready to deal. The pitch to Reimold, breaking ball low. 1-0. For Balfour, this is his 48th appearance. He's had a very good year for Oakland. 4-1 with a 2.09. 31 hits in 47 1/3 innings with 4 home runs and 45 strikeouts. And the delivery to Reimold, a little pop foul out of play off to the right side. Reminder to stop by your favorite food store when you wake up next tomorrow morning or any time during the rest of the week and pick up a loaf of Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread. Reimold with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 4 runs, 6 hits for Oakland. They've committed the only error of the ball game. Orioles have 3 runs on 6 hits against a couple of Oakland pitchers. Quick throw over to first base, and Dino gets back.
Here's tonight's attendance, 12,325.
Maybe you heard in the background, 12,325, the announced crowd here at the Coliseum. Last night, 10,122 turned out. Here's a high pop foul out of play off to the right side. Balfour coming in with a fastball. He's ahead of Reimold, the ball and 2 strikes. Nolan continues his struggles against the Oakland Ball Club this year. He's 1 for 20 against Oakland pitching. Balfour, 33 years of age, from Sydney, Australia. He's had 7 years of experience at the big league level. Pitched for the Twins, the Tampa Bay Rays. Balfour ready to deal. The pitch on the way to Reimold. Chop towards short. Pennington will charge. Short hop, quick it. Throw to first, and Reimold is out. Nice play by the shortstop, Pennington, to get the final out. Orioles leave a runner here in the 7th. We go to the bottom of inning number 7 in Oakland. Athletics 4, Orioles 3 on the Orioles Radio Network. Now Brian Madison has returned. First outing at the big league since June 30th. Has gone 6 innings tonight, 93 pitches. He has allowed 4 runs to the Oakland Athletics. And they have a 4-3 lead. David DeJesus will step in. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. 4 strikeouts tonight for Mattis. Left-hander against left-hander. Brian's given up just 6 hits on the evening to the Oakland Ball Club. And the delivery on the way to the outfielder, DeJesus, a strike inside corner. Looks like air beginning to warm for the Orioles. Oh, Jakubauskas, I'm sorry. So Chris Jakubauskas warming. And here's the delivery on the way. Swinging a foul back. 0-2 now to DeJesus, the 7th place hitter for the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics scoring their runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings. They scored 3 times in the 2nd against Bryan, and then a Willingham home run in the 3rd. The Orioles tonight scoring runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Solos for the Orioles, and one of those unearned. The 2-strike delivery to DeJesus, down and away. A ball and 2 strikes now. Suzuki to follow, and then Cliff Pennington. Mattis stands tall on the hill. The 24-year-old right-hander who went to the University of San Diego. Oriole number 1 pick. It's ready to deliver, and the pitch on the way to DeJesus just misses outside again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 97 pitches now for Brian Mattis. Wieters gives the sign. Mattis pitch on the way, and DeJesus swings and misses. He strikes him out. Came in with a breaking ball downstairs, and DeJesus is the 5th strikeout tonight for Brian Mattis. First out in the 7th. Pitch off the top of the dirt. Swinging and missing. Now Kurt Suzuki, because Suzuki has walked and hit into a double play. Oakland has hit into 3 double plays. One of them on the ground, the one Suzuki hit. The other fly balls that turned into double plays. Fastball strike, outside corner. Mattis had that one just to the outer portion of the plate. And now the Orioles southpaw delivers to the right-handed batting catcher. Fly ball center field. Pretty well hit, but Adam Jones will drift back square to the infield and make the one-handed grab. 2 down. Well, Brian Mattis tonight, we saw earlier in the ball game throwing the ball, his fastball consistently in the low 90s, and then as the game has gone on, it's dropped off to the upper 80s. But you have to feel it's been a pretty good outing for Brian Mattis in his return after his toiling down at the minor league level for Norfolk. Had 2 very strong outings to wrap up his work with the Tides. And now here tonight has given up 4 runs on 6 hits. And the delivery now to the 9th place hitter Pennington is taken downstairs, ball 1. And in the 2nd inning, when Oakland scored their 3 runs. Not a lot of solid hits that inning against Brian Matusz. A couple of hits that found their way beyond or in front of Oriole fielders. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Now over 100 pitches for Matusz. Jakabauskas continues to warm in the Oriole bullpen. 2-0 to the 9th place hitter Pennington. He's got an RBI single, and he struck out swinging. And the Matusz delivery to Pennington high. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck is the switch hitting Jemile Weeks. 3-0. Pitch on the way to Pennington, and here's a strike. Pennington, a switch hitting shortstop, had a couple of hits in last night's ball game. And the Matusz delivery 3-1 to Pennington. Strike 2 as he takes another one. That time the fastball at 87. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning. And Pennington steps out of the box as I think a ball has escaped from the Oriole bullpen area. And we have a time hold right now as that ball is tracked down out in the right field area. Looks like Troy Patton has begun to throw, also a left-hander for the Orioles. 3-2 to Pennington. The Matusz delivery on the way to Pennington. A looping fly ball, right field, base hit. So Pennington, a 2-out single. And now the switch hitting Weeks. 106 pitches for Matusz. And Weeks tonight has had an RBI double in 3 at-bats. The youngster, playing in his 59th game, has now had 72 hits. Still looking for his initial Major League home run. He's gone 58-plus games, the longest without a home run for an Athletics player since Mike Bordick. Back in 1992, Mike went 132 games before hitting his first home run. And the pitch on the way to Weeks, down and away, ball 1. Weeks with that double in the 2nd inning extended a hit streak to a modest 4 consecutive games. He's now had 7 hits over his last 17 at-bats. But very impressive young man. We saw him make his Major League debut in Baltimore when the A's were there. Pitch to the youngster, breaking ball in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Weeks now has had 5 hits in 15 at-bats against the Orioles. Looking down at his third base coach, Mike Gallego, who's well out of that third base coach's box, heading toward the bullpen area down the left field side. At first base, Pennington. 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Weeks, and he lines it into center field, a base hit. Jones will come in and play it on a bounce. So after 2 down, back-to-back singles, and we'll see how much longer Buck Showalter will stick with Brian Matusz here. Brian well into the 100 pitches tonight. And Wieters will go out to pay a visit to Matusz with the switch-hitting Coco Crisp coming up. Crisp tonight has walked, hit into one of those fly ball double plays, and then grounded out. Mentioned that Jakabauskas, the right-hander, is ready. The left-hander, Patton, still warming in the Oriole bullpen, but Coco Crisp is a switch hitter, and here comes Buck. So Showalter will go out to make a pitching change. And he wants the left-hander. He wants Troy Patton to come out of the pen. Reminder that Service Photo is Baltimore's pro source for Nikon digital cameras, lenses, and accessories. Visit them at 3838 Falls Road in Hamden, or go to servicephoto.com for everything Nikon. We also want to remind you, too, that this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Granger. We'll be back to Oakland after these messages. Troy Patton will keep Coco Crisp as a right-handed batter. Crisp against left-handed pitching this year came into the ballgame hitting just .219 overall, a .275 hitter. So this the weaker side for the switch hitter. He has runners at first and second. The left-hander Patton ready to deal with 2 down. The pitch on the way to Crisp, taken low, 1-0. Coco, as we mentioned, has walked, hit into that double play, and then grounded out. So Troy Patton trying to get the final out here. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Oakland with a 1-run, 4-3 lead. And the Patton delivery to Crisp Bounced foul right in front of third base coach Mike Gallego. For Troy Patton, this is his 9th game. 0-1, 377 earned run average. He's given up 14 hits in 14 and a third innings. 1 home run. He's had 13 strikeouts. Patton looks back at the runner at second, delivers to Crisp. Crisp hits a shot toward left field, racing back and over the head of the left fielder Reimold. Here comes 1 run for Oakland. Rounding third, headed for the plate is Weeks. He will score as Coco Crisp delivers a 2-run, 2-bagger to give Oakland a 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Got over the head and out of reach of Nolan Reimold in left center field. So for Crisp, RBIs 37 and 38 with his 23rd double. And of course, the 2 runners that score, the responsibility of Ryan Mattis. So he goes 6 2/3 tonight, giving up 6 runs, all earned on 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. He threw 109 pitches, and he gave up a home run. So here's Matsui now with the speed of Coco Crisp at second base, as both Pennington and Weeks have scored. And the first delivery to the left-handed batting Matsui is downstairs. Matsui 0 for 3 against Brian Mattis tonight. Six to 3 Oakland. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the delivery to the veteran left-handed batter Matsui with a very awkward swing on an 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He was out on his front foot and his body twisted like a pretzel going after that delivery. The count, a ball and a strike.
The pitching line for Brian Mattis in 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts.
And the pitch to Matsui. Swinging a foul. May have hit off the mask of Matt Wieters, and indeed it did. 1-2 to Hideki. Matsui had a base hit last night, so in this series he is now 1 for 7.
67 strikes. 109, 67.
Oakland trying to break a 4-game loss skid. The Orioles were hoping to extend a win run to 3, but right now Oakland has a 3-run lead at 6 to 3, bottom of the 7th. Crisp at second, the pitch to Matsui. Ground ball off the glove of the diving first baseman Reynolds into right field. Crisp will come in to score from second base. 7 to 3 Oakland. Well, Reynolds made the dive to his right. Got the leather on the ball, but couldn't stop it. It bounced off the glove and into shallow right field, and that allows Coco Crisp to come in from second base. And all this started with 2 down. We're going to have another call to the bullpen as Patton has come on and given up a double to drive in 2 by Crisp, and now the RBI single by Matsui as he picks up his 60th RBI. And the Orioles trail by 4. Chris Jakubowskis coming on. This call, the right-hander Chris Jakubowskis comes on, and he will be facing Josh Willingham. Jakubowskis has pitched very well since appearing against the Angels on the 24th of July. He has not given up He's given up just 1 run, check swing, and a foul. So he's given up 1 run in his last 7 appearances. And Jakubowskis is the 3rd Oriole pitcher tonight, following Mattis and Patton, the 2 left-handers. So now Oakland will look at a right-hander. Willingham tonight has struck out. This all against Brian Mattis. Homered and singled against the Oriole starter. Jakubowskis sets. He has Matsui at first, and the pitch to Willingham right there for a strike, as Willingham looked at a pretty good pitch. And the count now 0-2 to the left fielder. Willingham, slightly open stance in the third base side box. Hideki Matsui with his lead at first, delivery to Willingham, a foul off to the right side. It was a tight ball game coming into this inning. In fact, it was a 1-run ball game. Oakland leading the Orioles 4 to 3, but so far 3 runs for Oakland here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They have 7 runs on 10 hits tonight. The Orioles have 3 runs on 6. And the delivery to Willingham, swing and a miss. He strikes him out. So Jakubowskis comes on to get the final out. And all the damage done against Oriole pitching came with 2 down here in the 7th inning. 3 scoring for Oakland. We go to inning number 8 in the Oakland Coliseum. It's the Athletics 7, Orioles 3 on the Orioles Radio Network. Hey, follow the Orioles at MLB.com, At-Bat app 2011 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You get scores, stats, highlights, lots of stuff. You can even check in at Oriole home games for a chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. Text At-Bat 31826 or visit Orioles.com for complete details. We move to the 8th inning. Orioles trailing now by 4 runs, 7-3. Balfour staying on for the Oakland A's. And as we go to inning number 8, once again, here's Joe Angel.
All right, Fred, thank you, and good morning to you. Actually, it's kind of a bad morning so far. As J.J. Hardy leads off in the 8th inning, Balfour delivers, and J.J. takes a fastball for a called strike. And Hardy in this game is 0 for 3 as he continues to scuffle. Here comes the pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. Last week, he was the American League Player of the Week. But ever since, well, Hardy right now is 0 for his last 17. It's kind of hard to believe. Here's the 0-2 delivery, just outside the ball, and the count 1-2.
Bob Melvin has made a defensive move. Ryan Sweeney is now the left fielder, taking over for Josh Willingham.
All right, thank you. Here's the next outing, and J.J. takes low and outside for a ball. And J.J. 0 for 17 with 7 strikeouts in those 17 at-bats. So he needs a hit. The Orioles right now need a few hits to get something going here. Here comes the 2-2 outside to Hardy, so now 3-2 the count. On deck is Markakis. After that, Mr. Jones. Oakland ahead 7-3, just getting started in the 8th inning. Right-hander Grant Balfour. As he delivers, and Hardy a big swing and a foul tip. I think off the mask of the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Well, for Oakland, the right-hander, the starter tonight, Guillermo Moscoso, it's his game to win. He went 6 innings, gave up a couple of runs on, he gave up 2 earned runs on 5 hits. He had a walk and 4 strikeouts. And so Brian Fuentes came in. He got 2 outs. And then Balfour came on. And Hardy a swing and a miss, and down he goes again. Wow. J.J. 0 for 4 in this game, and now 0 for his last 18 at-bats. And now here's Nick Markakis.
Now batting number 21, Nick Markakis.
Nick in this game is 1 for 3. On the SK scoreboard in the top of the 12th inning. As Markakis takes it a little bit too low. Indians 7, White Sox 7. And that's a big ball game, too, in the American League Central. Here's the pitch to Markakis. In on the hands, and the ball fisted foul. That's going to be a souvenir on the lower deck, down there behind the third base dugout. Right now, the Detroit Tigers, and they won today behind Verlander, became an 18-game winner. The Indians are second. The White Sox are 3.5 games out in the American League Central. So the first team they have to catch is that Cleveland ball club. And right now, they're in extra innings against them, as Markakis takes outside for a ball. In that game, Travis Hafner hit number 11 for the Indians, and Juan Pierre hit number 2 for the White Sox. The Indians in that game were down a couple of runs, but they got a run in the 8th inning, and now Markakis takes a called strike 3. My goodness. Grant Balfour with a couple of strikeouts here in the 8th inning. He gets Hardy swinging, and then he gets Markakis looking at a fastball at about 94 that barely picked up the outside corner.
Number 10, Adam Jones.
And now here's Adam Jones. But again, the Indians tied that game against the White Sox with a run in the 8th inning and then a run in the 9th inning, and they're now in the 12th in Chicago. And right now the White Sox are hitting. Also underway at the end of 7, Texas leads the Angels 7-1. And now Jones is up there, and he takes a strike. By the way, Casey hands me a note in that Cleveland-Chicago game. Here comes the next offering, and Adam takes low and outside. You know, the old saying is, hey, you go to a ball game, and you never know what you're going to see. Well, in that game, the White Sox have hit 5 triples. When was the last time you saw that? Fly ball, deep right, but plenty of room out there. De Jesus backing up just a bit. Makes the catch. Orioles go 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts against Grant Balfour. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. Chicago leads it 7-3 on the Orioles radio network. The Oakland's here at the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead the ball game 7-3. And they got Brandon Allen, and then Scott Sizemore, and then David De Jesus against right-hander Chris Jacobowskis. Allen's had a walk, a ground out, and a fly ball into a double play in this game. And he takes a breaking ball in there for a call strike. We talked about the White Sox-Cleveland game. They are now in the 12th inning, tied up, 7-7. Big swing and a miss here. So it's 0-2 now to Brandon Allen. That's the White Sox have had 5 triples in that game. And for the White Sox, the most triples they've had in a ball game since a game in 1920 when they had 6 triples in a game. And Fred Manfred broadcast that game.
I remember that one well.
Yeah.
Old Comiskey Park.
There's a shot over the back at first base. That's a base hit. That ball is alongside the bullpen. It goes right to the back of the bullpen. Markakis is going to chase it down. There goes Allen around second. He's going to go to third. Here's the relay by Hardy, and the tag is too late. Talking about triples, there's one right there. Off the bat of Brandon Allen. And the ball hit right over the bag at first base. And boy, Nick Markakis had to make a long run to get to it. Behind the bullpen down there. By the time he got it back in, the relay by J.J. Hardy was just a shade too late.
Well, as Allen made that turn around first base, he saw where that ball was, and he never hesitated once he got toward the bag at second. The throw came in, and not in time to get Allen at third base, even though his foot came off the bag.
And I hear Scott Sizemore. The Orioles have the infield halfway. And Sizemore takes a fastball for a call strike. Also talk about the fact that once you go to a ball game, you never know what you're going to see. Yesterday in the Milwaukee-Los Angeles game, there was a triple play turned in by Milwaukee. Sizemore takes low and outside. And today in the Boston game against Tampa Bay, the second game of that day-night doubleheader, the Red Sox, they turned a triple play. And Sizemore takes a strike on the inside corner. So triple plays in back-to-back days in the major leagues. When's the last time you saw that? Here comes the pitch, and Sizemore, look out, almost got hit. Back in 1970, the Minnesota Twins, you remember Gary Gaetti playing third base in the game. In one game, they turned 2 triple plays. That was the last time you saw that. That was in 1970. Actually, 1990, I beg your pardon. Back in July of 1990. And that had to be because Gary Gaetti was not playing third base in 1970. But he was playing third base in 1990. They called him the G-Man, Gary Gaetti. He was an outstanding third baseman. Sizemore swings and misses. Now Jacobowskis gets a big strikeout there with the runner at third base. And now with one away, it'll bring up David De Jesus.
Now batting, David De Jesus.
So here's David De Jesus. Left-hand hitter is 1 for 3 in this game. He's got a couple of strikeouts in this game, sandwiched around a single back in the 4th inning. Oakland ahead 7-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now the umpires are going to get together. The second base umpire, Tony Randazzo, makes his way in toward the plate. Now he's pointing to something behind home plate, maybe back in the lower deck somewhere. Now everybody's looking in that direction.
there appears to be a guy with a jacket that has a light that goes off and on, like an illuminated jacket.
He does have an electric jacket, and I just saw the Oriole bird on that electric jacket.
And then the A's logo came up, too.
And I think he has it both front and back.
He's a walking billboard.
So he's going to be shut down. Pitch on the way to De Jesus is swung on and all the way into plate. Like I said, you never know what you're going to see at the old ballpark.
I don't think I'm going to go to the store and buy that one tomorrow. That's not a fashion that I care to wear.
I think I might. I'm going to get one like that for Casey. You know, give it to him for his 85th birthday coming up. De Jesus takes a called strike at the knees.
He looks pretty good for his age, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
For 85, hey.
Well, that's still breathing anyway. I think there's a swing and a foul ball off to the left. One thing about Casey, he's going to live forever because the internet keeps him going.
And the cell phone.
Oh, man.
And the texting.
Oh. 0-2 to David De Jesus. Here comes a pitch. Just outside for a ball. Yeah, the Orioles have the infield in. Oakland ahead 7-3, bottom of the 8th inning. They have Brandon Allen is at third after his 3-bagger. De Jesus trying to get the ball out of the infield here. There comes the 1-2 delivery. Outside, and the count 2-2 now. Well, a couple of right-handers warming up in the Oakland bullpen. I know Andrew Bailey is one of them.
And Bruce Billings is the other.
All right. And the pitch on the way. There's a high fastball. You said Bruce Billings is the other guy warming up?
Yes.
Was he born in Montana?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
That figures. David De Jesus, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And boy, the outfield also very shallow here. A's ahead 7-3. Jacobowski's to look at third base. Here comes a pitch. He walked him. So De Jesus gets aboard. Runners on first and third. And now the catcher Suzuki comes up to him. Now the Indians and the White Sox, they now go to the 13th inning.
Now batting, number 8, the catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
Thank you very much. This has to be the loudest PA system this side of Tropicana Field.
More decibels per human being than any other ballpark in America.
Well, at least Tropicana's got an excuse. It's indoors. And now Suzuki up there, he takes outside for a ball. I think the PA guy here, the system, I think they assume that everybody in the ballpark is deaf. So they want to make sure that they can all hear. Suzuki's had a walk, a double play ball, and a fly ball out. Jacobowskis delivers, and that's a little bit below the knees. So they count 2 balls and no strikes. Well, this was a 1-run game until the bottom of the 7th inning. And there were 2 outs and the bases empty in that 7th inning. Then all of a sudden, Oakland put up 3. Brian Mattis, who I think tonight had a pretty decent outing, but his line looks awful now. There's a throw to first, and too late. De Jesus is back in there standing.
Yeah, Troy Patton came on, couldn't retire a batter, and both batters had RBIs.
So Suzuki back in the box. And now defensively, the Orioles have the infield at double play position, up the middle. As Jacobowskis again will look at third. And he'll deliver. Suzuki hits a high fly ball deep to left. Reimold is back to the edge of the warning track. He's going to reach up. He will make the catch. Allen will tag. He comes in to score. The throw coming into second base. It is now 8-3 Oakland. on a long sacrifice fly.
Now batting shortstop, number 2, Cliff Pennington.
What? What? What did he say?
Pennington.
Oh, is that what he said? All right. It was so loud I couldn't hear it. And Pennington takes a fastball for a called strike.
Well, Jason Birkin is up and warming in the Oriole pen.
Pennington, a couple of hits in this game, 2 for 3. And the pitch. Breaking ball low and inside. His single back in the second inning drove in a run. Then he had a strikeout. Then another single in the 7th inning. And now the next offering on the woo, look out, almost hit him. So now the count 2-1. Next offering is a strike called on the outside corner. Pennington waits with the count 2-2. And Jacobaskis delivers. Breaking ball, check swing, did he go? They're going to appeal to third, and they're not going to get the call. So now 3-2 to Cliff Pennington. In the 9th inning, the Orioles going to have Vlad and then Wieters and then Reynolds as they try to get back in this game. Pennington back in the box. Jacobaskis sets. And he delivers 3-2. There goes a runner. And that's a base hit to right field. Now De Jesus is going to wind up at third base on that base hit to right. He was running. He's able to go first to third. And now the top of the order comes up and Jamal Weeks.
Now batting second baseman, number 19, Jamal Weeks.
We'll let the PA guy do his thing. Now Rick Adair is coming out to visit with Jacobaskis. And as Fred mentioned, Jason Birkin is out there getting loose. Jamal Weeks is coming up to hit now. Of course, now they got the music. Fred, can you hear anything at all?
Sounds like the Tijuana Brass to
It
me.
is, I think it is. We'll let you enjoy it.
Now, it would be okay if they'd bring margaritas, tacos, and burritos with that. Ah, silence.
Silence?
Yes.
Is that what that is? Oh. And now here's Jamal Weeks. Runners on first and third. Jacobaskis delivers. Breaking ball a little bit too low. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Jamal Weeks, he's had 2 hits in this game. A single drove in a run back in the second, then a single and a run scored in the 7th inning. And the next offering is a fastball outside. The count 2-0. Well, certainly Jacobaskis has been pitching extremely well. Michael Gonzalez has also been pitching well. And now the 2-0 delivery. Fastball, that's in there for a call strike.
Well, for Gonzalez, an amazing turnaround. 9 consecutive outings without a run, and 14 of his last 15 have been scoreless. That's what the Orioles were looking for a season ago when they signed him from the Atlanta Braves as a free agent.
Yeah, he's got a good breaking ball, and when it's on, it's very tough to hit. There's a swing at a fastball, but he got a piece of it and fouled it away. Remember that one game in Toronto against Jose Bautista when Jacobaskis came out of the bullpen and against Bautista, maybe the most dangerous hitter in the game right now. He threw him some breaking balls that were just impossible to hit. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, he fouled it back out of play. The Oakland A's here with runners on first and third. David DeJesus is at third. And Cliff Pennington is at first base. Well, Jack Kabaska is here trying to get the third out in the eighth inning. Here it comes. A little bit low. Another fastball. Well, Weeks has seen about 4 consecutive fastballs, so you know that eventually, if he's up there long enough, he's going to get that breaking ball. And let's see if Jack Kabaskis deals it here on 3-2. Weeks will dig in. Jack Kabaskis ready. Here comes the pitch. Fastball hit hard by the second baseman. Andino flags it down, and then the spin and the throw to first base to get the out. But the Oaklands get one more, and now we head to the ninth inning. A's are ahead 8-3 on the Orioles radio network. All right, good morning to you. Joe Angel and Fred Manfred back in Oakland. And the Orioles are down to the last 3 outs here. We head to the top of the ninth inning. Right-hander Andrew Bailey will deliver to Vladimir Guerrero, and he misses low and outside, ball 1. Vlad, and then Wieters, and then Reynolds in here in the ninth inning. Andrew Bailey. He delivers, and Vlad takes a fastball up and in.
He was the loser to Texas on Sunday. Came in trying to keep the door closed on a tie ball game and couldn't do it in the ninth.
His record this year, 0-3, as a fastball for a called strike. But Bailey does have 14 saves. He's been in 26 games. His earned run average, pretty good, 2.13 in just over 28 innings. There's a fly ball head for the gap in right center. Coco cannot get to it. That ball bounces right past him and then up against the wall. Vlad racing and now leisurely going into second base. A double, his second double of this game. So he's out there with nobody out. And now coming up is Matt Wieters. It's the second time tonight Vlad has doubled into the gap in right center. His first one came back in the fourth inning and it drove in a run. So Guerrero in this game has gone 2 for 4. And here's Wieters, who's gone 0 for 3. Bailey delivers again. And Wieters hits a ground ball to second base. Up with the ball is Weeks. And on to first, Wieters is out by about 8 steps. And on that ground up, Vlad goes to third. So Matt gone on 1 pitch. And now here's Mark Reynolds. Look at Andrew Bailey, 26 games. He's given up, coming into this game, just 17 hits in about 25 innings. He also had 25 strikeouts in those 25 innings. And opponents have hit only about 180 against him, so got some pretty good numbers. Andrew Bailey, he delivers a called strike on a fastball to Mark Reynolds. Fastball at 95 miles an hour. A's ahead 8-3 in the ninth inning. Reynolds 1 for 3, a double, and a couple of ground ball outs. He takes the ball just outside.
Well, he's been extremely tough on righty batters, as you might assume. They've only had 6 hits and 44 at-bats.
Yeah. Now the right-hander again look at third and delivers. And Reynolds swings at it, gets a piece of it, fouls it away. That time with a breaking ball, a slider. The finale, it's a day game tomorrow here in Oakland. Alfredo Simon will take on Brandon McCarthy, a couple of right-handers. Game time is early here on the West Coast. Reynolds a swing and a miss, and down he goes. Andrew Bailey picks up a strikeout here. So 2 gone, and now Robert Andino will try to extend the game. Game time here tomorrow. It will be at about 12:35, so on the East Coast, it will be about 3:35 tomorrow afternoon. And the pitch on the way to Robert Andino. There's a good breaking ball, and that time it had Andino kind of leaning backwards. With a count 0-1. Andino tonight 1 for 3, a single. And he has scored a run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. So now the Orioles, they've got 1 strike left. Oakland ahead 8-3. Andino back in the box. Infield backed up with 2 outs. Vlad, the base runner at third base. Bailey, the right-hander, is ready. Here it comes. Little bouncy ball over the mound. Out near second base. Pennington tried to pick up the ball and could not come up with it. Vladimir Guerrero comes in to score. And Robert Andino is going to have an infield single to pick up the RBI. And it is now 8-4. And Josh Bell will get one more at bat here. Just a chopper up the middle. Pennington came in trying to make a backhand grab of the ball, but looked as though the ball kicked off the heel of his glove and got away. Andino will get the RBI, his 18th. And now here's Bell. And Josh will take a knee-high strike. Fastball there, about 94. Josh Bell tonight 1 for 3, an RBI single. Here comes the 0-1. Outside with a breaking pitch. Now the Indians and the White Sox now in the bottom of the 13th inning. And the White Sox have the bases loaded with only 1 out. They got a chance to win that game. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Bell a check swing and the pitcher runs in. So now 2-1 to Josh Bell. Now Bailey again looks in. Now he's going to step off the rubber. And now he sets again. Bell waits. 2-1 pitch on the way. Fouled away off the hands. Down there behind third base, back in the lower deck. So for the second time in the inning, the Orioles are down to the last strike. Josh Bell, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to him. The outfield really spread out against Bell. Now on deck is Reimold, but there are 2 outs. 8-4 Oakland. Andrew Bailey. Right-hander sets again, and here comes the pitch. Bouncer, but a foul ball off to the right. Again, he jammed him with that pitch. Well, they'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll try and give you a station break in a moment here. Josh Bell gets right back in the batter's box. And again, the infield backed up all the way here. And now Bailey again ready. He's going to set. He's going to deliver. And he gets him looking. Strike 3 called. Fastball there about 93. And that's how the game ends. And the Orioles in the loss column in Oakland. They have split the first 2 games. And now the rubber game on Wednesday afternoon.
And for Brian Mattis, the line will look much worse than he pitched tonight. I thought it was a pretty decent return from the minor leagues for Brian Mattis, and encouraging, let's just put it that way.
Brian Mattis, 6 2/3. He wound up giving up 6 runs, but those numbers, I think they're a little bit deceiving. I thought for Brian Mattis, a pretty decent outing. And I think something that will project him forward just a bit. So we'll
something to build on.
I think so. So the Athletics, they congratulate each other, and we'll come back to the Coliseum here in a moment. But first, we're going to pause here for station identification on the Orioles Radio Network. We're back to the Oakland Coliseum with the not-so-lovely totals right after. Joe Angel back in Oakland. Now about those not-so-lovely totals here. Yep, Oakland wins it. They get 8 runs on 12 hits. They make 1 error. They leave 5. Orioles had 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. They also stranded 5 base runners. So Moscoso wins it. He's now 6-6. He's also now 2-0 in his career against the Orioles. Brian Mattis, on his return, he'll take the loss. He is now 1-5 this season, and he is now 2-3 in his career against Oakland. In this game, there was no save. Time of the game was 2 hours and 54 minutes, and the attendance here tonight, 12,325. And in the game, just 1 home run, and it came off the bat of the Oakland A's. Josh Willingham hit one with the bases empty in the bottom of inning number 3. For Willingham, his 20th of the season and his 9th home run since the All-Star break. We'll come back and wrap it up in Oakland in a moment on the Orioles Radio. Joe Angel and Fred Manfred back in Oakland. Same 2 teams again tomorrow, the finale of this 3-game series. Of course, Orioles won the first game last night. They won 6-2. Oakland came back in the game tonight. as they win this one 8-4. So the old rubber game tomorrow afternoon. Orioles, of course, the last 14 series, they've gone winless. They've gone 0-13-1 in the last 14 series. The last time they won a series was back in late June. That was against Cincinnati. And the last time they won a road series, well, it was back in May at Tampa Bay. But they've got a chance to do that tomorrow if they can win the finale here at the Oakland Coliseum. And in that game, a couple of right-handers going at it. Alfredo Simon for the Orioles against right-hander Brandon McCarthy of the Oakland Ball Club. Game time will be at 3:35 Eastern Time. So we'll be on the air at 3:05 later on this afternoon, and we hope you can join us then. Until then, Joe Angel for Fred Manfra, and, of course, mighty Casey Willett saying thank you so much and good morning to you. We wish we had better news. Orioles here tonight in the loss column. Oakland wins it 8-4. Stay tuned now. The Clubhouse Show coming up almost immediately on the Orioles Radio Network.